does not give up. It doesn't say it's no use. Faith has no quit in it. There's no quit in faith. See, we're used to highs and lows. And quite honestly, I like the highs because God said, I'll cause you to ride on the high places. I don't even have a right to get down. I'm a bad testimony when I'm down. Now, I may have these inner emotions that want to bring me down, and I may even look sad at times, but I can tell you right now, God wants you and I to ride on the high places continually. Even in my everyday life, June 28, 2020, God wants me today to ride on the high places. Not because it's Sunday, not because I'm in church with you, but listen, God wants me to walk daily. The world out there is looking for men and women that will live with God every day, ride on the high places every day. I'm a blessing, I'm an honor, I'm a great testimony to God when I ride on the high places. I rely and trust in God. I have nothing to fear. Come on, say amen. Tell your neighbor, I have nothing to fear. God is my Father, I have nothing to fear. Nothing. True faith will work. True faith will produce. True faith is visible. Yeah, it works. It calls things from the invisible into the visible world. But your faith should produce, and it should produce some visible results. Our faith is seen in our faithfulness. Verbal and mental faith is insufficient. True faith inspires action and practical experience manifested in everyday life. Faith endures trials, meets them head on, will not let us slide into sin, obeys the word, hears and produces, harbors no prejudice. Faith and favoritism cannot coexist. That's what I see from the book of James. Faith displays itself in works, is more than knowledge and words. Elijah said to his servant one day, they're on top of the mountain and it's not rained for 3.5 years, and he bows down, and by the way, I love this story. I've told it many times. He bowed, or he squatted in the position of a woman having a baby. And he prayed until the baby was born. That's what he done. He was in intercession. But he said to the servant, go look and see if you see anything. And the servant come back and said, I don't see anything. And the second time, go look and see if you see anything. And he come back and said, I don't see anything. Now, we have to understand something here. The prayer of faith saves the sick. You don't have to doubt. You don't have to doubt. But what he's doing here is he's being persistent. And Jesus said you need to be persistent. Don't give up. Faith does not give up. The third time, the fourth time, the fifth time, the sixth time. And I'm sure the servant, if he'd been like me, or maybe a lot of us, would have said, hold it. I prayed about that twice. I prayed about that 3 times. I've asked for that. I've asked for that. But what did he do? He was persistent. He kept on. He was a servant. Listen, and I'll get to this a little later, but faithfulness is seen in my servanthood. I just keep obeying the master. He just kept on, and the 7th time he come back and said, yeah, I see a cloud about the size of a man, or like a man's hand. That was all Elijah needed. And I'll tell you again in my Arkansas language, he said, you better get to higher ground because it's a fixin' to rain. But faith will put drive in you. I have a purpose. I have a calling. I have some zip in, I have some dance in my feet. Can you say amen? Faith will cause you to do that. Persistent, consistent faith, a life of faith, this kind of faith will give you, your life, a good testimony and a good report. It'll put the drive in you.
Amen.